I'll tell you, all you cats out there, man, that own a big dog, if you don't have to take apart your hand controls, don't. Because I'll tell you, they are a son of a gun to get back together. It's just a horrible design. You know, I love the motorcycle, but the electronics in those freaking hand grips, man, in the hand controls is a really bad design. It was a mother. There's 4 little tiny screws that hold the PC board down, and man, they are tough to get back in. I got it done. I got it assembled. My new switches came in. They're solder switches. What happened with the old switches is the terminals weren't solder terminals. Okay, I tried to make them solder, and they just didn't work out. So these switches here, they were a little. I think they were like 5 millimeters longer. So I had to bring the switch out more with another spacer. I made a little spacer out of aluminum, it was basically like a thick washer, and I polished it. It looks pretty good. But man, I'll tell you, I hope I never have to do this again. Let me show you guys it. So what I did was I made this out of 1/4-inch aluminum. Then I made another spacer out of the 1/8. So, and then the pigtail that plugs these in, guys, whatever you do, all I can tell you is don't unplug it, because there's like 10 little micro pins. They all have to go in. They all have to be straight. It's a nightmare. It is a real nightmare to get it back in. But this is a solder switch. You know, and I mean, I just should have left it like it was, but you know, I wanted this shiny like the rest of the controls. It was just bothering me. You know, so it looks half decent. It looks like it belongs there, you know, and that's that. That's done. I was going to put a piece of metal back here. I'm not going to. I actually have made one. Here it is right here. You see we got our heat on because it went back down below 20 again. I might put that on. I might not. I'm just tired of bending aluminum. See, we got our trickle charger going. Maintaining our voltage. So, okay guys, everything's back together. I probably got to adjust my mirror a little bit, so I'll wait until I'm ready to ride. It was 70 degrees yesterday, okay? Hold on, let me reposition you guys. Yeah, so it was 70 yesterday, okay? Today it's 18 degrees. Right now this is like 12 o'clock at night, 11:30, 12 o'clock, somewhere around there. And it's like fucking 18 degrees outside right now. It's freezing. So I probably won't be able to get this motorcycle out maybe till like the end of the month, the end of this month probably. Or maybe like the 3rd week of the month, or I mean I looked at the future weather, and it's probably not going to be any nice until the 1st week of April. That's the way it is around here. You know where I have been looking at houses down in Summerville, South Carolina. I think that's where I want to go, because they're pretty. Summerville's not a bad area. It's a pretty nice area, and the homes are affordable. And I may try to move to Summerville, South Carolina in the future. But as for that hand controls, guys, It is a horrible design, man. You know, having them little goddamn PC boards. I mean, I know that's how all the motorcycles are today, but it's just like it's crammed in there. It's a real tight freaking fit, and then the pigtail that goes to those turn signals and high and low beam switch. There's no play in the pigtail whatsoever. I mean, it comes out of the handlebar maybe 1 inch, and you can't even pull in the wire to get. I don't know, maybe my wire is stuck inside the handlebar, but you cannot. If I was at least able to pull the wire out a little bit, it's like if I ever take those handlebars off, I'm adding wires to that freaking harness. You know, that way at least it can come out a little. If I was able to get that pigtail out a little bit better, then it wouldn't have been so bad. But if you guys don't have to take it apart, leave it alone. Or if you can afford to take your big dog out to Kansas, take it out there and let them handle it. Pay them whatever they want, let them handle it. So I should have took pictures of all the things I did to get this to work, but I didn't. I was going to, and as I was doing it, I was just neglecting to film it. So what I had to do was the outside of that switch plate. What I did is I Permatexed it down with clear Permatex. And then I waited for that to dry. Then I mixed up some fiberglass resin, which is epoxy, and I poured that on the inside. That way, what that does is once that dries, it dries like plastic, and that dries around the switch threads and the housing of the inside of the controls, and that locks it in place. That way it'll never fall out, it'll never come loose, and it's waterproof on top of that. And I had to wait for that to dry. I did that this morning, and it takes like 8 hours, so it's solid. It'll never come off. You know, it's like I did that to the last switch I had in there, and I had a heck of a time to get that sucker out. So it's done. It works. Hey, I got myself some spare fuses, 20 amp fuses. I should have put 10 amp fuses in that. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to change that to a 10 amp fuse, or maybe even a 5 amp fuse, because there's no relay on that horn. It just goes straight to the fuse from the battery, fuse and then battery. So a 20 amp, I think 20 amps too high. I got to change that, because what'll happen is some of the wires I used thinner wires. So I'm afraid it might burn a wire before it blows a fuse. That's why I want to change that. These wires here, I'm not sure what the gauge is, but these aren't 20 amp wires, I can tell you that right now. These are probably maybe 10 amp tops. So I'm going to try to get a 5 amp fuse. I think a 5 amp fuse will be good in there. You know, because I don't really use the horn much, guys. I've used it. I don't like beeping a horn at people, you know, especially on a motorcycle, because people around here, when you beep a horn at somebody, they take it offensively. They don't like that. They don't like you. You can't do that here. You know, you can almost get yourself shot at just by beeping a horn at someone around here. You know, so a horn on this bike here, for me, it's used as an emergency. You know, so I rarely use it. I try not to use the horn at all. So that's one project done. It does look a little bit better like that. So, all right, guys, stay fit, and I'll see you later.